us now. Dr. Mohammed Munir is a virologist at Lancaster University, where his research also focuses on zoonotic viruses. He joins us by Skype from Lancaster. Thanks for being here on the programme. So in terms of transmission and cases, statistically, how concerning is this at the moment? There seem to be some conflicting views here.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it is not to be a panic, but certainly it is worrying because the way the virus is spreading is not been reported before. And the virus is not new to us. It's around 60 years old virus. We first detected in 1957. But this time in 2022 is the first time when the large number of cases are reported at once in Europe and in America. So looking onto the global picture and seeing how it is spreading, I think certainly there's something unusual, and that is where the space is that we need to be extremely cautious that we can contain at early stages beyond its spread globally to the countries where it's not been reported before, and we can contain it at the stage of its inception.
So people watching will be thinking, well, what are the symptoms and how serious is it if you contract it?
The disease itself is very self-limiting, so people don't really need to do anything, and it will subside by itself. But it starts with a fever, itching, and muscle pain. And if the disease spread further and develop further, then people start seeing some blisters, and those blisters would have a pus in there, and ultimately those will burst and will some execute come out of it, and that is the source of contamination. For instance, if somebody would have a blister on their skin, and its skin-to-skin contact could spread the infection. So anybody who see itching along with fever and have some level of blister development, that is the time to contact your healthcare providers, and certainly there would be tests to confirm whether that is the case, but not every itching would be a monkeypox infection.
So how unusual is it that it's spreading to areas it wouldn't normally spread to?
Yeah, normally monkeypox viruses are confined to the rural areas and around the rainforest, because that is where we contact with the animals and the virus spread. That's why we call it a zoonotic infection, because primarily it comes from animal to the human. But this time the situation is slightly different, because we are seeing more in urban areas the cases, and in Europe and in America and Canada and Israel and many other countries are joining the countries where the cases are being reported. And more importantly, there is a single connection between all these cases, which means that there are a lot more other cases that are ongoing, and somehow, of course, they have started at some point, either through travel or through contact with animals that have been imported into the developed nation. But that also means that the community spread need to be watched very closely, and a lot more cases will come up as we move along.
So given what you say then, what can scientists do to better understand what's happening?
Well, at this moment, our primary efforts are ongoing to sequence the genome to see if this genome of this monkeypox virus that is circulating into the Europe, are they closely related to the one those are in Africa. And within the monkeypox viruses, there are two classes, and we wanted to make sure that the class that is spreading into the Europe is confined to the low pathogenic or high pathogenic viruses. Once we have that genetic information, we will be able to demonstrate whether the chickenpox and the smallpox, the vaccine that is proposed to be used against the monkeypox would have some level of protection or not. So certainly a lot of need to be watched, and more importantly, this disease, monkeypox virus itself in Europe and America is relatively new. The first case outside of Africa was in 2003 in America. Since then, there have been sporadic cases, but we don't really have a lot of information how this disease will run its course in the Europe and America.
Okay, Dr. Mohammed Munir, a virologist at Lancaster University. Thank you for your insights today.
Thanks for having me.